Hi students! Today's video will be on the preterite of car, gar, and zar verbs. So verbs that end in gar, zar, or car in their infinitive forms will have a little bit of a change in the preterite tense. So if a verb ends in car, the yo form of the preterite tense will end in q-u-e with an accent. Again, just the yo form. If a verb ends in gar, gar, the yo form only in the preterite tense will end in g-u-e. And if a verb ends in zar, the yo form of the preterite tense will end in ce. And basically we do this just to maintain the original pronunciation of the verbs. So a C next to an A in Spanish sounds like a hard K. But when a C comes next to an E, like the ending of the yo form in the preterite tense, it would sound like an S, S. So we want to make sure that we still pronounce our verbs the same way, which is why we have these changes. So this happens to a lot of verbs because, believe it or not, we know a lot of car, gar, and zar verbs that we've learned in the past. So a couple examples of car verbs. We have the verb tocar, which means to play, as in to play an instrument. We have the verb practicar, which is to practice, like to practice a sport. We have the verb buscar, which means to look for. And another one is sacar, like to get good grades or to take out the garbage. That verb can mean a few different things. We have some gar verbs, jugar, to play, as in a sport. Pagar, which is to pay. And llegar, which is to arrive. Some zar verbs that we have are empezar and comenzar, and both of these verbs mean to start or to begin. And then we also have the verb almorzar. So if you look at this group of words, of these verbs, you're going to notice that a lot of these are boot verbs. Just remember that in the preterite tense, none of our boot verbs that are boots in the present are going to be boot verbs in our preterite tense. They do not exist. So let's take a moment to conjugate just a couple of verbs. So the first verb we'll do is the verb tocar, to play. So all of the other forms are normal, so we're going to add our regular endings. So we'll start with the to form, tocaste, él a usted tocó, nosotros tocamos, vosotros tocasteis, and ellos y ustedes tocaron. So the yo form is going to have the same ending, but our C, instead of staying a C, is going to change to QU. So our yo form is going to be toque, with an accent over the E. Okay, so really the only thing that changed here is our C in tocar changed to a QU. Now with our gar verbs, our G is going to change to a GU, and our zar verbs, a Z is going to change to a C. Again, this is only in the yo form. Okay, so I want you to take a minute and I want you to go ahead and conjugate one gar verb and one zar verb in the preterite tense. I would also like you to try to answer these two questions below. This will be your homework for Monday. There is nothing else that needs to go along with this video. Just please make sure that you come to class prepared with notes taken and any questions that you might have.